Today's demonstration is watercolor techniques. So in the previous post you saw the poster that had all of the techniques listed, and you need to get a piece of watercolor paper and label those. I like to use watercolors watered down in the paint set lid. So I get those ready. I'm going to get a couple of colors ready here to use for my demonstration. I'm going to use blue and green next to each other, harmonious colors. And so they'll work nicely together to do some of the techniques. The first one's just wet on wet, which means you're just getting the paper wet with a brush, and then you're going back into that color and adding some more. And if you add a different color, it's going to really show up. So let me just try some green here to just touch on top, and it just kind of blends into the other color. Wax resist is using some kind of an oil crayon or color crayon and then just painting over that surface that you have painted. Glazing is taking your brush and painting a layer of paint nicely across your paper and letting it dry. Salt, just what it says, getting a nice bit of water on your, or paint on your surface, and then drizzling a little bit of salt, just a pinch. Masking, I've laid some masking tape down here on my paper. And of course I'm using watercolor paper. I'm painting over that. When it dries, I will go back and carefully peel that off. Marking, just what it says. You're going to paint with the paint, and then you're going to take the opposite end and you can draw lines and see how that makes the lines appear a little bit darker. Now for anything that I'm doing, I am not using the paint really dark. I'm not roughing up the paper. Intermediate colors, those are those colors that are in between a color. So if I have a red and a blue, intermediate colors are when they're in between one primary and one secondary color. So if I take my blue here and I paint with my blue and I mix my green right into that, I'm going to get a blue-green. So I can either mix right here on my paper, or I can mix on in my paint set. A blended wash is taking one color and painting with one color across your paper and then blending another color on top of that. Kind of like mixing on top of the paper as well. Those are your 8 techniques I'd like for you to try. And then of course in your harmonious triptych painting you should show at least 4.